Growing up without our parents was a rough experience, but the worst happened when my brother got into drugs.
He spent all our savings to purchase drugs.
Isolated himself from his family members, and spent most of his time with his friends.
I did high as I did like this.
He got into many drugs from pills to weed, syrup, and he injected himself. He became very violent and got into trouble. He spent days outside without coming home. The drugs began to eat him gradually. It was painful seeing him lose his mind, but it was more painful when we lost him forever. Stay safe, don't do drugs. This is Narco Tales.
Hello and welcome to Narco Tales, where we uncover the truth behind drugs, pain, and survival, straight from those who lived it. I am your host, Netta Widozie. Our guest is already seated and ready to share his journey, so let's begin. You're welcome to Narco Tales.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
Very okay. I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you. So please introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Godwin Majegu. I was a former drug abuser. I abused cannabis for 7 years, and today I'm a public health advocate and the founder of the Unforeseen Drug Sensitization Initiative Abuja.
Okay, so how did you first come in contact with these drugs? Who or what introduced you?
Okay, it was when I first went to school, when I had my first program going on, my OND program.
Okay.
So I went into school as a young adult, someone with a bright future. So first of all, before I got into school, I was quite disappointed with my mentor. Where I was living, there was something he did that got me so angry. And when I went into school, I was like, okay, let me just open up to new experience. So I had a friend that took me out most of the time. So whenever he takes me out, I get to meet people with different characteristics. So
Yeah.
there was a day I went out with him and they were all smoking, and he was like, I should try it. I should try it. There's no harm in trying. So being someone who is curious to know things, so I said, let me give it a try. So when I gave it a try, I first of all started using it without knowing how to use it. I meet people doing too many drugs, especially smoking, because smoking is seen to be normal now in youth, in the midst of youth and in the community. I don't see smoking as something outrageous anymore. So when he asked me to try, I said, okay, I should try it because I'm also very curious to know it. So when I tried it the first time, I was not even doing it rightly at all. I was wasting it, and they were all complaining that this young man is wasting their substance. So they had to teach me, and even the first day after being taught, I still didn't do it very well. So it took me for over like 1 week of smoking cannabis before I was able to understand the what will I say, the cruise behind it, because my first 4 days I was not even getting anything from it. I was like, is it the same thing people say make them happy? Because I don't find any fun in it. So when it got to a point where I discovered the fun, I started trying to do it often, and that's how I started using cannabis.
Okay, so it's safe to say that you were rebelling because of, what happened between you and your mentor.
Exactly, I was rebelling. I was rebelling because I felt that there was no need being upright. If someone I hold in high esteem can actually treat me in such a manner that got me really offended, then let me try some other way of life. So that's why I met those people in school and they taught me how to use cannabis.
Okay, what was your understanding of drugs at the time before you tried them?
I don't know much about drug because my family background is quite very okay. I come from a Christian home and my both parents were alive at that point, even till now. And I come from a family of seven, five boys, two girls. None of them tried using any substance before. So coming from a family that none of them were into drugs, seven in number, so I had no prior knowledge to it. So I was just a complete novice, but I was willing to learn because I was rebelling. So I opened up to this friend of mine to actually let me know how to use the substance so I can be perfect in it. So that's how I got
So you can
dependent
be
on it.
perfect.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even curiosity anymore, it was just something you really wanted to try.
Yeah, as a young man, if you are in the midst of young men and they say you don't know how to do a thing, you start trying to prove them wrong. You start trying to make them know that yes, what they know how to do, you can do. So at that point in time, I was trying to let them know that yes, I'm feeling among, I'm quite among, and I know how to do what they do.
Okay, so how did you feel the first few times you tried it? Was it exciting? Was it calming? Was it just normal?
Well, to be honest, when I first tried it, like I said, I didn't do it rightly, so I didn't even understand the cruise or the joy behind it, like the way people claim they get excited when they first tried it. So until I started doing it rightly, and there was a day I did it, and I was like, is it the feeling? I felt eased. I felt like I've lost, forgotten all my troubles. I felt like there's nothing bothering me anymore. My school activities, even the test I had to read for, I felt no need to read for the test. Like I said, the test is going to write itself, and also it was just like I just felt too relaxed, too confident, even in the midst of trouble.
How often were you using it at the beginning?
Okay, when I started enjoying it, I started doing it almost like twice, like one day off, one day on. Like I can use it today, I don't get to use it tomorrow because of I don't know how to buy it at that point, and I
Okay.
don't know how to roll it. So I had to wait for somebody to actually come and take me through the process. So at that point, I was not using it so often because I could not get it myself. I could not arrange it myself and all. So I was waiting for somebody to come. So at that moment, I was not using it too often because the friend of mine that I was hanging around with don't come to see me often. He can come today and maybe give me 2 days gap till I got tired. I was like, why won't I learn how to rule this thing? Why won't I be independent of myself in this addiction? So I had to start learning how to rule. So when I learned how to rule perfectly, that's when the addiction began.
Was it just cannabis you were using at the time?
Yeah, at that moment it was cannabis I was using. Yeah, because that period when I started using cannabis, there was nothing like colos at that moment in
Oh,
circulation. There was no, I think there was no loud in circulation. It was just SK and normal weed.
no pills, nothing.
No, no pills. I didn't try using pills for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, but along the line, I tried some pills because cannabis is the gateway drug. Because once you're using cannabis, you'll be in the midst of people using crack. You'll be in the midst of people using ice. You'll be in the midst of people using codeine,
True.
Brefnol, and the rest. So cannabis is a gateway drug that actually makes you integrate with other people with different substance.
All right. Thank you very much, Godwin. We're going to pause here for now. We're going on a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive deeper into the conversation with Godwin. Stay with us.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Welcome back to Narco Tales. Thank you for staying with us. So, when did it move from occasional use to something you started looking forward to?
Hmm. Okay, actually, the more you use a substance, is the more you want to use it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why when I hear people say or say things like they are special about a substance, because when they
What
say
do you mean special?
yeah, some people feel like because someone else is dependent on the drug, they can't be dependent on the drug
Okay.
because they feel there's something special about them, or they have self-control and all and all. So when I hear such a thing, I laugh because there's nothing like that. Because the more you use a drug, is the more the need for the drug grows within you. The more your psychology, your nervous system, everything about you is wanting it. So when I used that drug for some time, I was not really dependent until a while when I had to attribute all my activities to smoking. Before I want to go out, I would want to smoke. Before I want to wash my clothes, I would want to smoke. Before I want to read my book, I would want to smoke. Before I do anything productive, I tie my success to smoking. I tie my productivity to smoking. And that's the reason why even when we travel to new places, to new environments, before we get to do the reason why we got to that state, to that environment, we're going to first of all try to identify the nearest way, the nearest means to get the substance that we use. So we don't feel like we can be productive or we can give our 100% will I say productivity until we smoke. So that's when I knew that I'm really dependent on this thing. because I don't eat before I smoke. I don't do anything creative before I smoke. You cannot invite me for a party without me asking you if there will be smoke available, there will be weed available. You can't tell me to come to a place where I know that for me to get my substance will be very difficult. So automatically, I cannot live in an environment that this substance is not available. So that's when I knew that I'm really hooked up in this.
So, how are you sourcing for this, for the cannabis?
Okay.
You had friends who were supplying them to you, or you had your customers?
Okay. For any substance abuse you want to go into, they have people that are willing to sponsor you for over 3 months, 6 months. I don't know the
For
joy.
free?
I don't know the joy they get from it. What you just need to do is just make yourself available. They give it to you. They contact the plug. They buy. They purchase. They bring it to your doorstep for free, just for the fact that they know you are a new convert. So at this point in time, they do it for free till you get caught up in it. So the moment you don't see them coming close, doing the things they do, you'll be the one trying to source for this contact. You'll be like, please, bro, help me with that plug contact. So just in case you're not available, I can get it myself. So after using this substance for free, and I was not getting it for free anymore, I had to put my initiative on ground to know how to source for this. So I was able to get this contact of these plugs around the environment where I stayed there, and I was getting it myself. And moreover, I told you that I already learned how to roll. So what I needed was my money, my pack of Rizla, my lighter, and that was all.
Okay, so if someone had met you before drugs entered the picture, how would they have described you?
Well, like I told you, I came from a very humble background. I was a very religious person. And that's the reason why when I was doing drugs, I never brought myself to meeting people I knew when I was not doing drugs, because I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed of myself. Those people that saw me doing evangelism, doing outreach, preaching and all, now seeing me using a substance, I can't stand the shame. So before drugs, I was a very upright kid, very intelligent. I was doing well with my academics. I did well with my family. I was one of the most favorite child of my father, my mom. They loved me so much. It was a natural love because I was just too coordinated. But after I was disappointed and I felt betrayed by my mentor, I said, okay, let me even try an opposite life. And that's when I gave drug a chance.
Thank you very much, Godwin. So we're going to stop here for today. And that's where we'll pause Godwin's story for today. But this is not the end. Next week, we'll dive into the consequences of the choices he made and how he began his journey towards recovery. I am your host, Netta Wedozie, and I'll see you same time next week.
Drug generally, the moment you seize drug, what you do is that the first most fundamental thing to do is, first of all, you conduct a test to find what type of drug it is, and then the weighing. And then you issue certain forms that we call exhibit forms, certificate of test analysis, package of substance form, and then request for scientific aid. Because it is at the level of test that certain sample of the drug is taken to forensic lab for analysis, which is later presented in court. You know that no drug is drug and it is certified to be drug by forensic expert. A1 goes to forensic lab, which is a fraction. The A3 is stored in with our stores, exhibit store. The drug remains there until the case is concluded in court. And once it is concluded, the court gives order. It is the court that gives order for the drug to be burnt. So at appropriate time, the NDLA now organizes and get this drug burnt by public burning.
Don't do drugs, don't do drugs, don't try it though. He go choke you up, he go steal your sunshine up, he go shock you up. He don't kill him any youth from my area. Even for your area, when you start it to stop, it no go easy. As you dey drag am go, he dey drag you down. Water come out from my eyes, oh, when I remember all the guys, oh, where many of them kicking bucket, oh, some cut to socket, oh, make we no forget, oh, no they talk it, oh, say. Don't do drugs. Rock up, you see body, oh. no go wound your busy body. If you die, you go sad, oh. Oh yeah, help me tell somebody. Say, drug abuse, the body, oh. The body, oh. The body, oh.
This message is brought to you by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA.